Put it on. Okay, are we going to go live now?
I think we're live.
Okay. All right. Well, good afternoon, everyone. So good to see all of you. Wish you could all be here it's the first day of school, and I hope you're doing well. I'm Mr. Rink, and I'll be your science teacher for either chemistry or honors chemistry. And we thought we'd always start out the year with a bang. So I'm going to show you something to eat today. So what we're going to do, we talked about this, we're going to do 2 chemicals today. And I've got a couple people here to help me. They're here just for learning purposes. Everyone wave. Okay. And so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a product called aluminum. And I'm going to write that out because when you go to the recording later, you can, this is one of the things we're going to use, aluminum. Okay? And we're going to use aluminum. So I have my aluminum here. And don't tell my wife, but I borrowed some of her flower pots. All right? And I'm going to put the aluminum in here, or some of it in here. All right? Then, I went at home and anyone can shout it out. What do you think this is? Feel free to shout it out online. What do we think that is? What does it look like to you? What do you guys think? What does that look like to you? Okay? What do you think? Okay, it's a red powder. Okay? It's a red powder. I'm going to give you the fancy name, and then we'll give you the real name. The fancy name is iron 3 oxide. Iron 3 oxide. But the common name is, you might have guessed it, rust. Just plain old rust that you see on the bumpers, okay? So we're going to, both cameras can come over here for a second. We're going to add, I'll get my eye protection on. We're going to add the rust, or the iron 3 oxide, and then we're going to add a little bit of aluminum, a little bit of the iron oxide, a little bit of the aluminum. Can anyone guess at home, when we have something like aluminum, that's an element. It's on the periodic table. Aluminum is an element. This is a couple elements. We call this a compound. A compound is 2 or more elements. We'll be learning about this next week. Element, compound. When we mix them together, it's a very complicated name. We call it a mixture. A mixture is usually a compound because it's got a mixture of things in it. Now, if we want a really good reaction, we want to mix this good. Right now, we want to make what we call a homogeneous mixture, meaning we want it to all look the same. Right now, if you look in here, you can see lots of clumps. You can see some red, some silver. That's called heterogeneous mixture. But we want to mix it. So we get what we call a homogeneous mixture. And therefore, we'll get a good reaction. Usually I have the students do this. Someone usually gets rust on their brand new sneakers for the year. That's not good. Alright, so I think that's pretty good. Now, what we're going to do, has anyone wondered in chemistry why there hasn't been an explosion? Like, sometimes when you mix 2 things in chemistry, boom, and I'll show you that this year, boom. But it's not reacting, is it? Right? So what do we need? What do you think we need? Anyone know the word we need? We need something to get it going. What do we call that in science when we need something to get it going? Anyone?
Catalyst.
A catalyst. Very good, Mr. Sawyer. Mr. Sawyer is with us today too. So we need a catalyst to get it going. And we're going to use fire to get it going. And to help it along the way, I borrowed a little bit of a thing called solid rocket fuel. They used this in the space shuttle years ago when they launched rockets. They used this stuff. So we're going to use a little bit of that too. Okay. Now remember, when Mr. Rink does experiments, we do not do these at home. I'm a trained professional. I can safely do this. We would never do this at home. Not, you don't have rocket fuel home anyways, but remember, we always do this in a safe environment. We would never try any of this at home. Okay, so I think we're ready. This reaction is called the thermite reaction. And it's quick, so you gotta look quickly. This is just a thing of sand that should collect it. And when it's done, I want you guys to put the cameras, when it's all done, put the cameras into the pot when we're all done. But we're gonna leave this step back now. Here's our fire in the form of a fuse. Stick that in there. All right, let's see. Wind's going this way, okay? I'm gonna have you guys, except for the camera guys, I'm gonna have you guys step back a little bit more. Step back a little bit, gentlemen, step back a little bit. All right, come on in, gentlemen. Look at this beautiful thing here. This is 2,000 degrees plus lava. This is molten, ladies and gentlemen. We would not want to touch this. Come on up, look, guys. Okay? Look at that, instantaneous. We went from 0 all the way up to 2,000 degrees in a flash of a pan.
Wow.
This is called thermite. The military can use this stuff as well. And tomorrow we're going to look at what happens when it cools down. And this is fun. In fact, maybe perhaps in October, Mr. Sawyer knows what I'm talking about, we might do this in a bigger form, perhaps.
Wow, this is a strong message.
Cool. I'm so glad you could join us today, guys. I really miss you, okay? And I'm going to find a way to get to meet every one of you sometime this year, all right? But we're going to do fun Fridays every Friday like this. We're going to have fun this year. We're going to learn a lot. We're going to work hard, but we're going to have fun. So I'm going to say goodbye for now. You can go to the Google survey now and do the survey and do all the questions. If you forgot some of the answers, I'll post the video a little later today. You can watch this over and over and over again if you want to, okay? So goodbye to my live viewers. Good to see you guys. And you can stop and thank you.